Hello, good evening. Working tonight on the Cloud series. I'm going to continue with some details on the foreground of this painting. If I can adjust it a little bit, we can see it a little bit better. Just mixing up some colors. Go back just a little bit. Part of the Cloud series, I've got most of the sky pretty much done. Tonight what I'm going to work on, and really the background of the trees. I was hoping that was dry enough from the last session to, it's not quite dry. I want to put a glaze over these trees to kind of push them back some. But really what I want to work on tonight is putting in some of that light that's coming in on the clouds, bring it into the field, some highlights across the center here. That's going to be a mixture of mostly yellow ochre, titanium white, a tiny bit of sap green, and a little bit of cadmium yellow. That's going to be sort of the golden yellow that I use for these highlights. Then I want to put some flowers in the foreground here. This is an impressionistic style painting, so I wanted to just be subtle, but I'm thinking maybe some white flowers, maybe a little bit of purple, even a red flower or two here or there. So just mixing up some paints here. And I'm going to get started again on the background of the meadow. Thanks for joining me, those that are watching. This is pretty much when I'm going to be coming on Sunday evenings for meeting me at the easel. About 30 minutes, 45 minutes of live. I haven't been able to get on the last couple of weeks. Unfortunately, I've had a death in the family and was in hospice for the last week and a half. And so excited to get back on with you guys and work on this painting tonight. So got my colors mixed up. I use oil paints for this one. I do paint in oils and acrylics. This one is pretty much all oil. I did a little underground drawing with acrylics. So I like to mix Galkyd, which is a drying medium, into my oil so that it dries a little quicker. So I'm just doing that here sort of off camera. And then I get started. So gonna start again. I'm using a number 4 bright, a little large for this area, but I'm gonna go for it, kind of see how it works. What I want to do is I want to bring some of that yellow in the sky into the field, sort of coming across, giving some highlights. So I'm just going to barely be scumbling or sort of breaking that gold across the meadow. This again is part of the Cloud series. I've been painting clouds, practicing clouds, and painting clouds for the last, I don't know, month or so. Mostly biblical clouds. I've got a few going that are mentioned in the Bible, but this one is just a landscape that was inspired by, actually by my morning walks. I live out somewhat in the country, and slide that back just a little bit. As you can see, I'm just taking and lightly adding that gold yellow I'm going to bring again some of that light from the sky into the field, right across kind of the center here. Of details. I'm going to come across the foreground here with a little bit of this highlight color as well. From a golden it's a tiny bit more of the titanium white in there to give it a little more of a yellow. And then just touch that canvas with it. As like a touch and lift, if that's, or a flick almost, to give that effect. I want to come across the middle here, light this field up with some highlights. different colors, white. I'm also going to come in with
How good is it, Erica? There is no progress.
ever so slightly just some small flowers. Come back into the purple and get a few more of the purple over on this side. So again, as part of a series on clouds that I've been painting lately. I don't want these flowers to come across too bright or too strong, so what I'm going to do is, after getting a few of them in here, I'm going to let the painting dry completely, and then I'm going to put a glaze over the whole bottom. I want to put a little glaze across the tree line that's going to help kind of push it to the back, and possibly a light, very light glaze over the sky, and that will kind of tie it all together and wrap it up. couple more purple ones over here on this side. Gonna add a little bit of titanium white, and this one's gonna be even more, need a smaller brush, but gonna add a little titanium white to that purple and the white, yellowish white for the flowers, and come back in here and do a little bit of a highlight so that the light is hitting off these flowers. Just mixing up a little bit of paint here. Gonna come back in and just ever so slightly touch these purple flowers with a highlight. That light reflecting off of them. Give it a little more depth. Mix up a little bit more paint there. Ever so slightly touch these flowers and give them a little highlight here and there. Nothing too strong, just subtle highlight. I think that's good on the flowers there at the bottom. You're gonna want to come over them with a glaze once they've dried. But I'm gonna go back now into changing brushes to a smaller liner brush. I'm going to come back into that golden yellow. Put a few more center these the highlights in the field. Add a little bit more of that gold sunlight color. Reflecting off the grass. Well, I've got this small brush. I'm going to come back in. There's sort of an olive green and a cool blue-green at the transition here between the foreground and the background, and I'm gonna touch that up a little bit more. Coming back first into this olive, kind of a dark, call it an olive green. Come across the back, distant field. Small horizontal strokes. By adding a little bit more of this olive, it's going to bring that gold, make that gold stand out even more. Contrast. Even bring a couple strokes into the foreground. Go to the other side. See how you can, it's kind of probably hard to see, but you can see by adding that darker color there, it brings out the gold, the contrast even more, which is what I was going for. Then there's a bluish cool green here kind of in the center. So I'm going to touch that up as well, a few more touches, tiny bit of the olive just to warm it up a little bit, but I'm going to come in and sort of strengthen some of that area. Like I said, this is more of like a cool green, a cool shadow, got more blue in it than the foreground, which is more green, more sap green.